actually losing my absolute grip on reality right now. I mean, I cannot physically comprehend the psychological collapse we just witnessed on our screens.
Well, it is the absolute zenith of reality television delusion.
Right. We are talking about a 24-hour friend zone in the Maldives, an all-expenses paid, highly produced romantic vacation that entirely evaporated in one single, literal business day.
One business day. The producers basically handed these people metaphorical matches and said, let's just burn the whole villa down and see who crawls out.
And the answer is nobody.
Yeah.
Literally nobody. And do not even get me started on the clandestine Spotify texting operation.
I mean, who orchestrates a secret affair on a music streaming app?
Exactly. Are you typing out your emotional baggage in the search bar of a collaborative playlist? Are you communicating via song titles? It is an unhinged level of technological desperation.
It's so embarrassing. But wait, we need to officially start.
Oh, right, yes. Babes, welcome back. Good morning, good evening, good life to you.
We are so glad you're here for this mess.
Truly. Babes, by the time this drops into your feed, it'll be Thursday. So honestly, happy Thursday, babes. You survived the week.
Barely. But the mint juleps are officially on deck tonight. My blood sugar is already spiking, and I am fully committed to the bit.
Okay, and babes, I have to ask you, are we completely in our Southern girl era right now? Because I took one single sip of this concoction, and suddenly my entire physiological makeup shifted.
It really does change you.
Yeah.
I am currently behaving like a wealthy divorcee who is embroiled in a brutal land dispute.
Yes. Over like a heritage horse farm or something? I am already romanticizing porch life. I feel a desperate, inexplicable need for a wraparound veranda.
And a rocking chair. It is genuinely fascinating how beverages dictate our temporary identities.
But wait, break that down for me. Why does mint, literally a weed that grows aggressively in my backyard, instantly make any drink feel like it costs $35?
It's the sociology of the garnish.
Mm-hmm.
It implies that someone took the time to cultivate and muddle a fragile leaf into your glass.
I put a single leaf in my tap water yesterday and suddenly felt like I was summering at a country club in Nantucket.
Cocktails completely alter our personalities. Like, you give me a tequila shot, I revert to my 22-year-old self drafting a highly questionable text.
Oh, we have all been there.
But you give me a mint julep, I am ready to inherit a plantation and ruthlessly judge my neighbor's lawn care.
Speaking of ruthlessly judging people, honestly, these relationships on our screens are such a damn mess.
A complete disaster class in human behavior.
But babes, we are sat, we have our notepads out, we have combed through the Reddit threads, and we are ready. But wait, I have to expose you for a second.
Oh God, what did I do?
You do have this one glaring problem, though. Every single time we watch relationship reality TV, you end up right back on your online dating bullshit.
I am feeling violently attacked right now.
I am just stating facts. You watch these highly manufactured dating shows, and your takeaway is always, let me re-download Hinge.
Okay, wait, let me defend myself. When I go on the apps, it is strictly investigative journalism.
Investigative journalism. Be serious right now.
I am. I have to see what the market looks like. I'm conducting field research to better understand the dating climate so I can accurately critique this show for the listeners.
Okay, I am going to push back on that because you get emotionally delusional for 48 hours straight. You swipe in a state of absolute chaos, think maybe Love IS possible, and then immediately regret it.
The 48-hour cycle of hope and profound disappointment is very real.
You treat dating apps like a toxic ex that you keep revisiting. It's so bad.
But is it loneliness? Or is it research? We may never know.
It's loneliness, babe. It's wanting cute little Sunday coffee dates without any of the actual commitment.
Okay, fair. But my problem is the paranoia. After watching a show like this, everyone online suddenly looks highly suspicious to me.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, I assume every single man on Hinge is secretly communicating with 3 other women via Spotify playlists.
The emotional danger of just browsing is so real, but I will proudly admit I am still out here desperately wanting a dramatic love story. I want the cinematic climax.
So you want a rom-com, and I just want a man who doesn't trauma dump his entire childhood history on me before the waiter brings the appetizers.
Which, speaking of trauma and exhaustion, we also need to discuss the highs and lows of today's workday with the Snark squad.
We really do. Just a reminder that we are both dentists at entirely separate practices.
Which means we spend 8 to 10 hours a day staring staring deeply into people's mouths and trying to pretend we are fully functioning adults.
It is an extreme exercise in emotional masking.
Truly, my highs today. Surviving emotionally, strictly on an iced coffee the size of a human head. Plus, my clinical team was hilarious, my scrubs outfit was actually perfectly tailored, and
Wait, let me guess. You had a cancellation.
yes, I experienced the absolute unmatched euphoria of a patient canceling at the exact last minute. That 2 p.m. open slot, I felt alive.
The canceled afternoon appointment is the adult professional equivalent of a childhood snow day.
It really is. What were your lows, though?
I was drowning. Back-to-back exhaustion. The technology in my operatory kept failing, and by lunch I was heavily questioning adulthood.
Oh no, not the existential crisis by noon.
I'm exactly one minor inconvenience away from leaving my practice, disappearing to a cobblestone street in Europe permanently, and never looking back.
I fully support this European escape plan. But before we flee the country, we have to talk about our worst online dating disasters. Watching this finale triggered some deeply repressed memories for me.
Oh, where do I even begin the catalog of horrors? How about the guy who completely catfished me by using photos from literally 10 years ago?
No, the 10-year photo gap is a federal crime. It is false advertising.
He walked into the restaurant and I was scanning the room for a vibrant 28-year-old. Instead, I was greeted by a 38-year-old who looked like he barely survived a highly litigious divorce.
That is insane. Did you say anything to him?
I was too stunned. He sat down and expected me to just accept this alternate reality.
That is wild. Okay, my worst one recently was the guy who exclusively talked about cryptocurrency for 2 straight hours.
Oh my God, an absolute nightmare.
I felt like I was trapped in a financial seminar. He kept aggressive eye contact and just repeated the words blockchain and decentralized fiat while my eyes glazed over.
That is a classic narcissistic conversational takeover. He wasn't looking for a partner, he was looking for an audience.
Exactly. But honestly, the absolute worst phenomenon is that shared experience of realizing exactly halfway through a dinner that you absolutely loathe the person sitting across from you.
Yes. The appetizers have been cleared, and the horrible realization washes over you that you have to spend another 45 minutes making polite conversation.
With someone whose very breathing pattern is suddenly intensely annoying to you?
It's a hostage situation with overpriced pasta, which, perfectly enough, is exactly how half the cast of Perfect Match looked during this entire finale.
What a transition. Okay, Biggs, enough spiraling about our own miserable lives because we need to get into this absolute mess.
The 35 minutes of pure chaos. Let's start with the final compatibility challenge, because I am still deeply disturbed.
I was watching this and my brain started short-circuiting. Did they accidentally edit an episode of Fear Factor into a dating show?
The I'm a celeb survivalist vibes were way too strong.
Right. It was a 50-50 challenge, meaning each person does half the work, stacking wooden blocks. Fine. But then forcing them to eat fried worms, giant blocks of solid, unpasteurized cheese, and excessively spicy fruit.
The block of cheese is what haunts my nightmares. Just a massive, dense, sweaty block of dairy in the tropical heat.
I need to ask you a serious question. Would you ever eat a fried worm for love? If the man of your dreams was at the finish line, would you consume the insect?
Absolutely not. Romance is completely dead anyway. I am not consuming a deep-fried invertebrate for a man who is statistically likely to text his ex the second we leave the production bubble.
Oh my God, literally same. I would pack my bags so fast.
You could offer me the Maldives trip, $1 million, and I would still look at that worm and say, have a nice life, I'm calling my Uber.
But what fascinated me was the psychology behind this. Why use disgust to test compatibility?
It's based on misattribution of arousal. The producers put them through something terrifying or disgusting, their heart rates spike, and they mistakenly attribute that intense physical arousal to romantic passion.
That is so dark. They are chemically manipulating them into trauma bonding.
Exactly. And shockingly, Dave and Sophie, who barely know each other, consume the garbage and win the whole thing, which grants them the power of the boardroom.
And this is where the strategic logic breaks down into absolute madness. They have to choose an eliminated single to bring back. They have Jimmy P, Chris, and Bree.
Sophie was actually trying to use logic here. She wanted to bring in Chris so he'd match with Kayla, be happy, and ultimately vote for them to win.
It makes perfect sense, a clean strategic game move. But Dave does not care about logic. Dave wanted pure, unadulterated mess.
He wanted to bring in Bree just to stir up absolute hell with Damari and Marissa.
He literally used rock, paper, scissors to decide the fate of these people's real emotional relationships. I was screaming at my television.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Does it show a lack of empathy? Or does it show that Dave recognizes this entire experiment is a farce?
Oh, interesting.
He knows it's a game whose sole currency is drama.
Yeah.
By choosing rock, paper, scissors, he is mocking the false gravity of the show.
Okay, I see your point. So Dave wins the rock, paper, scissors, and Bree walks through those heavy double doors back into the villa.
And the temperature in the room instantly drops to absolute zero.
I had a visceral, emotional reaction to how the house treated her. It was freezing cold. Nobody said hello. The mean girl energy was radiating so intensely I needed a sweater.
It was incredibly uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
The Reddit consensus was totally on her side. Bree came in with this vibrant, effortless aura. She wasn't acting villainous at all.
But the house, specifically Marissa, was acting wildly possessive and deeply insecure. Every time Bree even breathed the same air, Marissa would act like she and Damari had a 20-year marriage and 3 kids.
It is textbook group polarization. The house had already formed alliances, so Bree was designated as the outgroup threat.
And there's that massive theory that Damari had been talking poorly about Bree to everyone before she even arrived, just to protect his own image.
Which is so manipulative. He controls the narrative before she unpacks her bags.
So toxic. And then Bree and Damari go on their closure date. Bree brings up the cheating rumors, and Damari gets aggressively defensive. He has this hair trigger reaction anytime he feels challenged.
He utilizes Darvo Deny, attack and reverse victim and offender.
Yeah.
He denies the cheating, attacks Bree's tone, and suddenly he is the victim being interrupted.
It is exhausting. But Bree handled it beautifully. She secured her closure, maximized her TV time, looked gorgeous, and left gracefully.
The ultimate revenge is staying entirely unbothered while a man digs his own grave on international television.
Truly. But babes, the post-show shocker. I have to drop this right now.
Give it to me.
Damari chooses Marissa for the finale. They stay together, right? But post-show, they broke up almost immediately. And the gag is, 4 months later, Marissa married a guy from her past.
I am actually screaming.
Yes. Someone she dated 13 years ago. And now she is literally moving to Japan with him.
Flee the country, secure a husband, and leave the toxic Netflix boys in the dust. I respect it.
It completely reframes their whole dynamic.
But honestly, it validates why they didn't win.
Yeah.
You cannot build a sustainable relationship when 90% of your dynamic is screaming matches and the other 10% is trauma bonding.
Exactly. Okay, speaking of things lacking foundation, we have to move on to the Spotify smugglers.
I have spent hours trying to map out the logistical mechanics of this scandal.
Let me walk everyone through it. Kayla announces she is self-eliminating to pursue Chris. She delivers this highly rehearsed speech of him. My boobs are fake, but my feelings aren't.
She thought she was giving us an Emmy-worthy exit. She totally practiced that in the mirror.
But then Mackenzie stands up at the mixer and absolutely nukes Kayla's spot, exposing that Kayla and Chris have been secretly texting the entire time.
On the production-issued Spotify iPads, because their personal phones are confiscated, Allison apparently discovered a messaging feature on Spotify and told Kayla.
I didn't even know you could text on Spotify. What were they doing, making collaborative playlists called Meet Me by the Pool?
However they did it, they were having illicit conversations right under the producers' noses. And once production found out, they took everyone's Spotify privileges away.
They ruined the music for everyone. And Kayla's defense was terrible. She is stuttering, aggressively pointing like, I wasn't using a phone.
She was rebelling against the psychological cage of the show, but she was just so sloppy about it.
And it gets worse. Catherine steps up with the off-camera tea. She exposes that a mutual friend's friend claims Kayla has an exclusive boyfriend back home.
The convoluted trail of gossip was incredible.
And Kayla vehemently denies it, begging Allison to back her up. And Allison gives the most unconvincing, panicked response ever recorded on film.
It was the reality television equivalent of a hostage video. Allison's eyes were screaming for a producer to intervene.
So Kayla's grand romantic exit is completely in shambles. It is high camp.
But we have to transition from high camp to deep, dark reality now. The Ally, Jimmy P, and Hashim violation.
This was the darkest, most ethically murky moment. Jimmy P comes back, picks Allie, they take a romantic shower, and everything seems fine. She matches with him, sending Hashim home.
You think the messy triangle is resolved?
But then the boardroom grill session happens. Hashim interrupts to claim bro code and exposes that he and Allie were physically intimate the night Jimmy left.
He completely blindsided both of them. Jimmy P looks devastated and Allie is completely frozen.
But we need to get serious for a second and drag Hashim and the producers. The Reddit outrage is entirely justified.
Because the producers decided to air a 10-second flashback clip of exactly what happened in bed that night.
And the clip explicitly showed a heavily intoxicated Allie. She could barely keep her eyes open. Earlier, she was slurring her words, sobbing, clearly out of her mind on alcohol. And they aired a clip of her giving him a BJ.
It was exploitative, predatory trash. It crosses a massive ethical boundary regarding consent.
I was absolutely disgusted, and Hashim framing this as bro code is the biggest joke. Bro code is stepping aside, not sleeping with her. He weaponized a deeply vulnerable, drunken hookup because his fragile male ego suffered a narcissistic injury when she chose Jimmy P.
It was a vindictive power play masked as male solidarity. Pure misogyny. He wanted to publicly humiliate her on his way out.
And the fact that Netflix editors sat in a room, reviewed footage of a woman too intoxicated to fully consent, and decided to air it for entertainment, it is sickening.
They don't normally show explicit sex scenes on this show anyway. Why start now with someone in an incapacitated state?
It felt so insidious. Allie was thrown under the bus by a man she trusted and a production team desperate for a cliffhanger.
It casts a very dark shadow over the show. And for what? A relationship that didn't even survive the flight home.
Let's do the post-show update on them. Jimmy P and Allie broke up almost immediately. Distance was an issue, and Jimmy P had just moved to Miami, claiming he was fresh out of a glow-up and wanted to be single.
The Miami influencer pipeline claims yet another victim. The second a reality TV man announces he is moving to Miami, the relationship is clinically dead.
He's going to be on rented yachts, selling fitness supplements until he's 45. Allie is much better off.
Totally. So we arrive at the final vote. The boardroom grill session with the bitter jury.
They were so mad. They formed the perfect pack to vote for whichever couple came from the unmatched group because they hated the strong couples.
The psychology of a bitter jury is fascinating. It's cognitive dissonance. If a strong couple wins, it validates the game they failed at. So they tear down the strong couples to validate their own failure.
They went after everyone. They dragged Marissa and Damari, they dragged Jimmy P and Allie, and then they interrogated Jimmy S for his mind games.
Specifically, the infamous pinky promise with Allison.
But Jimmy S actually took accountability. He didn't deflect or darvo. He just said, I handled that poorly and I deeply apologize.
It was shocking to witness a man on reality television bypass his ego and take actual accountability. He cleared a very low bar, but he cleared it.
I know. Is Jimmy S a walking green flag? Meanwhile, Yaman and Natalie get 0 votes, and the post-show tease says Yaman was allegedly incredibly rude behind the scenes.
So the jury votes for the safest, least threatening option. Dave and Sophie.
Sophie's speech was iconic, though. I wanted a red flag. He looks like a red flag, but he's the greenest flag.
Hilarious, since he spent the whole season trying to be the kissing bandit during challenges.
But they won the all-expenses-paid trip to the Maldives, and the post-show update is the funniest thing ever.
Please outline exactly what happened in the Maldives.
Dave admitted they literally friend-zoned each other 24 hours into the trip.
One business day.
They spent the rest of the romantic vacation drinking piña coladas in separate beds as buddies.
I profoundly respect the pivot. Once you remove the cameras and the artificial scarcity, the illusion evaporates. Doing it on a free luxury vacation is absolutely the way to go.
It is the ultimate reality TV scam.
Okay, this brings us to our segments. Segment 1.
I'm done.
Most likely, here for followers who felt the least genuine and most fame-hungry. I have my nominee locked and loaded, Hashim.
Oh, complete.
He knew he was getting sent home, so he drops the bro code bomb in front of a live audience knowing the cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
He wanted a viral finale moment. His ego couldn't handle rejection quietly, so he guaranteed maximum screen time.
I am so with you, but I have to throw Kayla into the ring. The secret Spotify texting, the fake self-elimination speech she rehearsed for days, and the alleged secret boyfriend back home. She did not want a perfect match. She wanted brand deals.
She wanted to sell detox tea.
Yeah.
She was just so spectacularly sloppy in her execution.
Yeah.
But I'm going to introduce a wildcard nominee, Jimmy P.
Ooh, our Jimmy P.
Because he radiates calculated Miami influencer energy. He was wishy-washy for weeks, maintaining a safe distance. But the second Allie looked at Hashim, suddenly he's madly in love. It was a stalling tactic to maximize screen time.
He manipulated the arc. But the winner has to go to Hashim for the sheer malicious intent.
Agreed. Segment 2, couples. We give 72 hours. Predicting which relationships immediately collapsed outside the villa. Spoiler, all of them.
First, Dave and Sophie. They made it exactly 24 hours.
The countdown clock started the moment cameras turned off. You remove the maniacs in the house, put them on a quiet beach, and there's nothing to talk about.
Next, Marissa and Damari. We know she's married to someone else now, but why did they collapse?
Relationships built on 90% screaming matches don't survive.
Yeah.
Marissa needed constant validation, and Damari has a fragile ego. It's a toxic loop.
So true. But I am genuinely fascinated by Jimmy S. and Allison. They are the only couple still loosely talking, seeing where things go.
I give them a 10% chance of survival.
Only 10%.
Seeing where things go is just a soft launch for a permanent breakup. It means the logistical reality of dating is annoying, and neither wants to be the bad guy. They will quietly fade out in 6 months.
You are brutal but correct. Segment 3, Biggest Delusion Award. Who seemed the most emotionally unserious?
Nominee 1, Kayla. Believing that texting via Spotify wouldn't get tracked by a massive Netflix production team is the height of technological delusion.
Nominee 2, Hashim. He genuinely thought he was emerging as the good guy protecting his bro, when everyone saw he was just a bitter, rejected man throwing a tantrum.
And nominee 3, the jury. Acting morally superior about genuine connections when they were just mad they got kicked off a game show.
It was pure bitterness masquerading as righteous indignation. Okay, final segment. Online dating red flags we recognized immediately. Let's compare this to real life.
Red flag 1, the "we're open, right" guy. Jimmy S. sleeps with Allison, and the very next morning casually drops, "we're open, right."
I physically recoiled from my screen.
It is the classic Hinge fuckboy maneuver. He love bombs you, sleeps with you, and then Saturday morning says he doesn't want labels. He wants domestic benefits without closing his roster.
It is emotional whiplash. Red flag 2. The hair trigger communicator. Damari shuts down and accuses people of interrupting him every time there's a minor conflict.
I have dated this exact man.
We all have. The toxic Tinder date who turns every minor disagreement into a debate club performance. You can never resolve a conflict because you're managing his ego.
It's exhausting gaslighting. And finally, red flag 3, the safe rebound. Dave and Sophie winning.
Explain the psychology of this.
You match with toxic guys who play mind games. You get severe decision fatigue.
Yeah.
So you match with a totally average, safe guy. He doesn't give you anxiety, so you think this is it. I have grown.
Bit time.
But then you go to the Maldives and realize there is zero spark. You mistook the absence of anxiety for the presence of love. And you end up just being friends.
I feel violently attacked by that analysis. We project all this hope onto the boring guy because our nervous systems are tired.
And that is the psychological thesis of season 4.
Honestly, my mint julep is empty, and I feel thoroughly vindicated in my Snark.
A highly successful Thursday.
But before we wrap up, a final provocative thought. We judge this cast, but at what point are we, the viewers, complicit? We demand higher stakes and explosive finales. Are we the reason producers use sleep deprivation and alcohol to manufacture chaos?
A very sobering point.
I need the Snark squad to sound off in the comments. Answer these. What was your absolute worst dating app experience? Which couple do you trust the least? Are mint juleps classy or dangerous? Does watching this mess make you miss dating, or are you terrified? And who is the most delusional person this episode?
And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with your messiest bestie. Drop the link in your group chat so we can keep the debate going.
Still messy, stay delusional, and we will see you on the Snark side.